There's a strange kind of silence that follows you into adulthood. It's not the silence of peace. It's the silence of something missing, something you can't quite name. It's there when you sit among people but feel miles away. It's there when you succeed but feel nothing, and when you fail, you feel everything. That silence is the sound of a childhood you never truly lived. Most people think childhood is something you grow out of, but the truth is, you never leave it behind. You carry it. It hides behind your habits, your fears, your relationships. It echoes in the way you attach, avoid, parts of you that weren't loved enough don't disappear, they wait. They show up as anxiety, as perfectionism, as overthinking. They whisper, maybe if I just do a little better, someone will finally see me. That's not weakness, it's survival. It's the voice of someone who had to grow up before they were ready. When you were little, you didn't just learn to read or tie your shoes. You learned who you needed to be to feel safe. You learned that love might come with conditions, that being quiet kept the peace, that being funny could diffuse tension, that being perfect might stop the yelling. So you adapted, you became responsible, mature, invisible, whatever it took. But every adaptation came with a cost. You began to hide the parts of yourself that didn't feel welcome. Your anger, your sadness, your joy, your creativity. And as you grew older, those parts didn't die. They simply waited like unopened letters from a younger you. This is why so many adults feel chronically tired, anxious, or disconnected by success. It measures it by wholeness. When you lose touch with the child inside you, you don't just lose innocence. You lose wonder. You forget how to play, how to rest, how to forgive yourself. You start living to perform instead of simply existing. You begin to chase love and achievement, validation, or relationships, but no amount of success or attention can ever fill that old emptiness because the goal was never to become more. It was to remember who you were before you were told to be less peace psychologists. Have known this for decades. Your childhood doesn't just live in memory, it lives in your nervous system. If you grew up in a home where emotions were ignored or love was unpredictable, your brain learned to expect rejection, to brace for pain. That was adaptation. It kept you safe then. But as an adult, that same system becomes a prison. You overanalyze every silence. You mistake peace for danger. You call exhaustion normal. You suppress emotion, and suddenly you can't feel joy. You overachieve, and rest starts to feel like guilt. You care for everyone else and call it love, while quietly burning out the same walls that once protected you now block your healing. And when emotions are left unprocessed, they don't vanish. They wait. They reappear in your triggers, in your fears, and how you overreact to small things. A small rejection hurts more than it should, not because of what happened today, but because it's every rejection you've ever felt. Returning all at once, that's why healing feels confusing. You're not fighting your present. You're soothing your past. So, how do you heal something that happened so long ago? You listen to the child who never got to speak. You ask them, what did you need that you never received? Maybe it wasn't money or gifts. Perhaps it was gentleness, to be seen, to be loved, to make mistakes, and still be loved. Until you give those things to yourself now, you keep searching for them in others. Healing doesn't mean erasing your past. It means understanding it. It's realizing that what you thought was weakness was adaptation, that every tear you hid was an act of courage. You can begin today when offer love instead of judgment. Allow yourself to rest without guilt, to cry without shame. Every act of self-compassion is a step home. You become finally the parent you always needed. And when that happens, you stop living like a survivor. You start living like a participant again. You no longer chase approval. You seek peace. You no longer exploit. Childhood doesn't define you. It guides you home. When you stop running from your past, grief comes first. You start to mourn the childhood you never had, the birthdays you don't remember, The laughter you had to fake the softness you had to abandon too soon. But that grief is sacred, because for the first time, you're not abandoning your younger self. You're finally sitting with them. And as you do, something miraculous happens. Pain softens into understanding. You begin to see your parents as children too, carrying their own wounds and silences. Forgiveness doesn't excuse what happened. It frees you from repeating it. You stop asking, why won't I love the way I need it? And start saying, I can love myself that way now. Healing isn't fixing yourself. You are never broken. Healing is remembering your wholeness to play, to exist without earning it. Children are naturally amazed by life. They see magic in clouds, in rain, in laughter. When you heal, that wonder returns. Colors seem brighter. Music feels deeper. Time feels slower. That's not to see that every ache, every fear, was guiding you back to the most important truth, that your worth was never something to earn. It was something you were born with. And one day, when you look in the mirror, you won't just see an adult trying to hold it together. You'll see every version of you, the child who dreamed, the teenager who hid, the adult who endured, all standing together, finally at peace. And in that moment, you will understand the silence that haunted you was an emptiness. It was your inner child waiting to be heard. And now, you've listened. The war within is over. This is peace and aloud, not dramatic, just a quiet hum between breaths, the kind of peace that whispers, you made it, you're home.